To Nancy Snow. She's a professor of public diplomacy at Kyoto University of Foreign Studies, and she joins us now from New York. Great to have you on the program. Welcome to you. And Nancy, you are normally based in Tokyo. And tell us, what has been your reaction to this news, your students, the countries, and what are people saying?
I think that there's been some surprise, but there were also signals with his having gone to the hospital several times and also not really being much having much presence before the public. This is only the second press conference that he's held since June. So we had these quiet months, and what was dominating the news was this recurrence of his health problems. He was also criticized early on with the management of the coronavirus. There was the unfortunate video that he released showing himself at home, and it was mocked and ridiculed online. But of course, Japan's numbers overall with the coronavirus, the mortality numbers have been extremely low. I'm not sure if you can give him all the credit for that, but nevertheless, he's been put in a difficult situation with the cancellation or the postponement of the Tokyo Olympics. There's no guarantee that that will take place next year. Whoever his predecessor is, and right now that'll be a sort of a placeholder predecessor until new elections in 2021. But whoever it is in a very unenviable position.
And I want to talk about that later.
Yeah.
And Nancy, that is my next question, actually, because this was supposed to be the summer of the Olympics in Tokyo. Absolutely, an amazing month it was supposed to be. Instead, a pandemic, the economy doing, well, in very low numbers, the growth there. And his popularity ratings very down, Shinzo Abe. So is it just about his health?
Well, of course, people are speculating that it's not just about his health, but this was also the speculation when he resigned in 2007. Of course, that was very short term, just under a year. This time, we've had almost 8 years of Abe. He's been very much the fixture of the nation brand image of Japan in the world. So there'll be a lot of talk about his legacy, good and bad. Critical, but also full of praise. I mean, you even had a Japanese gentleman who was very forthright in his critique. That's a bit unusual for a Japanese person to go on camera and to say that. But I think nobody's really neutral about Abe and his legacy, particularly with the peace brand, with the unfinished business regarding Japan's so-called peace constitution. He very much wanted to revise Article 9 and give fangs to the self-defense forces, make them more like a regular military, almost a new normal for Japan. But the Japanese people are very divided about that. They can see the gains from having this peace brand and to be seen as a very peaceful, loving nation, a nice nation in the world.
So that is, let's call it unfinished business, as is maybe the 8-year Abenomics, is it not?
It is, and I would add too, there's unfinished business with what I often call the most underutilized natural resource in Japan, namely the women of Japan. They continue not to have the numbers in either the parliament, in politics, even in private industry. And so we didn't just have Abenomics, we had the offshoot of Womenomics. And he very much gave some passionate speeches about increasing gender equality. That has not come to fruition. In fact, it's gotten worse. It's the lowest in 2020. And then you add COVID-19, and it's just a terrible mixture for any sitting prime minister. I'm actually quite sympathetic to his ongoing health problems. There'll probably be another day for me to weigh in on his legacy altogether.
Absolutely, and we look forward to speaking to you. Nancy, it's been a pleasure to have you on the program. Nancy Snow, thank you very much. We appreciate it.